In trading, we're always told that action is everything. You got to do more research, stare at more charts, and definitely take more trades. But what if I told you the single biggest secret to winning is actually learning how to do nothing at all? Today, we're diving deep into the trader's paradox, this really counterintuitive idea that your best move is often no move at all. I mean, this is the question, right? It's what keeps every developing trader up at night. You're sitting there, the charts are just flying by, and you feel this immense pressure to do something, anything. But what if the real professional edge isn't about knowing when to jump in, but having the rock-solid discipline to stay out? It sounds completely backward, doesn't it? We spend all these hours, countless hours, learning setups and strategies and models, all things designed to help us pull the trigger. But the whole point of all that hard work, according to the source material, is to build the discipline for strategic inaction. It's kind of wild when you think about it. So look, if doing less is the key, why is it so incredibly hard for us to actually do it? Well, it's because we're all caught in this tug of war between our own desire to succeed and a nasty trap that's set by the market itself. Just think about it for a second. The entire trading industry, we're talking brokers, software companies, all the gurus online, their business models are built on your activity. They make money when you press buttons. But here's the catch. This constant push for you to be busy makes you predictable. And in the markets, being predictable is pretty much a death sentence. The source material has this brilliant analogy. You think you're the hunter, right? You're Elmer Fudd chasing those wascally opportunities. But from the market's point of view, your constant eagerness, your need to trade, well, that makes you the meal. That itchy trigger finger is exactly what it feeds on. Okay, so to avoid becoming the market's lunch, we've got to really understand the two critical mistakes that drain trading accounts. And it's so important to get this, they are not the same thing. One's a technical mistake, but the other is purely psychological. So on one side, you have over-leveraging. That's a pretty straightforward technical error. You're just risking way too much money on a single trade. Simple as that. But then there's overexposing. And this one is a much deeper psychological problem. This is about taking too many trades, chasing these little phantom setups that aren't even really there. One can blow you up in a single fiery moment. The other just grinds you down with 1,000 tiny cuts until there's nothing left. And this right here, this is the real killer for most traders who are trying to find their footing. It's that compulsion, that little voice in your head that's screaming, the market's open, you gotta be in a trade. You end up forcing things that aren't there. And honestly, it is the fastest way to just burn out and empty your account. So if the big trap is all this constant, frantic action, then the solution has to be the exact opposite, right? We have to learn to use the professional's greatest weapon, the power of stillness. This is the fundamental shift you have to make in your head. For a professional, their number one job isn't to make money. It's to preserve the capital they have. And how do they do that? But patiently, and I mean patiently, waiting for only the highest probability setups to appear, and simply doing nothing the rest of the time. You can really see the two paths just diverge right here. The retail trader gets driven by emotions, right? Anxiety, FOMO, that leads directly to chasing moves and putting way too much capital at risk. The professional, on the other hand, follows a cold, disciplined process. They identify the right conditions, they wait for their specific setup, and only then do they execute with total control. The goal isn't just action for action's sake. It's all about preserving capital. Okay, I know, this all sounds great in theory. Be patient, wait for your setup. But what does that actually look like in the real world when the market is going crazy? Let's break down how a pro might handle a live, really volatile market. So picture this. It was a week with a ton of geopolitical tension. The markets were all over the place, totally unpredictable. Instead of just guessing, the trader set one simple, hard rule based on the dollar index. He said, if it doesn't do this one thing, I'm not trading. So Monday rolls around, the condition isn't met. He does nothing. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, same story. He just sat on his hands. Then finally, on Friday, the conditions lined up perfectly, and he took one single high-quality trade. And here's the payoff for all that stillness. By just sitting there and waiting for his specific condition, the trader estimates he avoided eight losing trades that week. That's 8 times he would have been wrong, 8 times his capital would have gotten chipped away. The best move he made all week was no move at all. So what's the big takeaway from all this? Well, it's really about reframing your entire journey. Every mistake you've made, every frustrating loss, that's not a failure. That's the raw material you're using to build your professional edge.
I absolutely love this quote. It just reframes the entire struggle. The pain of losing, the frustration of making the same mistake again, that's not what's weighing you down. The idea here is that all that hard-won experience is what will eventually make you light. It's what will allow you to just float above all the noise and chaos that traps everybody else.
And that kind of leaves us with this one last thought. Look, having a trading model with rules, that's one thing. But having the discipline to sit perfectly still when your model is screaming, "Don't trade," that's a whole other level. So the real question to ask yourself is this. You know what your rules say, but have you truly given yourself permission to just wait for your pitch and do absolutely nothing until it arrives?